Hello, hello. Welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XI. Since last time, I actually broke the Axe Trials, but I've been doing a lot of meriting on Warrior with Greatsword because Ground Strike is a hell of a weapon skill, especially for making skill chance for Shantato 2 to burst. I increased my max merit points to 36 because we're starting to get where we need a lot of points per attribute. Also, I just raised strength to 8, just to make sure that at 75, I would be getting all of my merits counted. The way merits work when you're lower than level 75 is that you will be allowed to have up to 7. Like, it's every 10 levels you'll be allowed to have 1 of your merit points from your general categories. You won't be able to use any of your job based merits because they are level 75 abilities, but everything like in your HP, MP attributes, combat skills, magic skills, others, everything in these first 5 categories, you'll get 1 of every 10 levels. So like meriting is one of those things that carries over into your next jobs when you level them. Of course, all my jobs are 70 plus, so they all have at least up to 7 of these attributes. And it's gonna take quite a while, but I can actually get 15 in plus 15 in every attribute, which is like not quite the equivalent of like 10 to 15 levels, but because of the way level correction works in this game, leveling up is the most effective way to gain more power. At least until level 99. So, yeah. But anyway, we finished breaking the Axe of Trials. So now, we will finish yet another weapon skill quest. Sanctuary of Zeta. There a great beast awaits you. Defeat the beast and retrieve it from it the anal truth and prove your victory. Your eyes are asking me why you must do something so tedious. I remember giving my master the same look when he asked me to perform this task many years ago. The answer to your question can be realized by defeating the beast. That's kind of funny. Let's see. This quest is called The Weight of Your Limits. All of the WS and M quests actually have really cool quest names. And I think we want to go... Actually, I think we want to go back to the book in the mines and take the book to Romave, because I believe the monster we gotta fight is close to the Romave zone line in Sanctuary of Zeta. It's been a long time, but I remember on the day I unlocked Steel Cyclone back in the day, it was done concurrently with my friends having me apply to my first endgame link shell, which was a shell called Precedence. And it was actually joining endgame was the first time link shell in this game had any drama go down. My friend Jimpu, Hecken, Droka, and a few other people in this link shell, they wanted to get into the endgame and do all the cool story fights and do all the cool endgame stuff. I did too. I was very young. I was like 15, going on 16, or just recently turned 16. I'm pretty sure I was 15 though. And it was late 2005 after I got back from being grounded, or very early 2006. I guess it would have been early 2006 because Treasures of Otagon was definitely out already. Because that's where I got up into the 50s, the mid-50s, just as Treasures of Otagon came out. So I had just started to experience points parties in like Kuftal Tunnel and other known places where you fought crabs, like the Boyata Tree, until 60s. Oh wait, this isn't the way I need to go. I'm fucking autopiloting. But, yeah. So, basically, the only requirement for me to join this Skylink shell was to have, it was like, be level 75, or well, you know, be able to get to level 75 on at least one job, have every skill for that job that matters, which to them was the WS and NIMS for Axe and Great Axe on Warrior, for skill chain purposes. And they regarded Great Axe as more important because it could make darkness, which is useful against like Aspidal launch and some of the KSNM 99 bosses. And because of the meta being one-handed axes, they figured I'd already have Decimation anyway. But I actually didn't have Decimation when I joined them. But more or less, we were finishing up Zillart missions, and we were going to get Sky Access for the first time. I was like level 72 or 73 or something. And I knew I would get to 75 within a few days. And basically, me and my friends ran through Sanctuary of Zita from Juno on Chocobos. And we came up here, and I believe we're gonna fight a Treant. It's like somewhere, if you look at the mouse cursor, it's somewhere like here-ish. It's basically just like straight on the way to Romave, so it's pretty cool. And we just stopped and we killed it, and then we kept moving. And Jinpu told the Link Shell that we were joining that I had gotten Steel Cyclone. And then we went in and got to Sky, and when we got into Sky, I joined we joined an alliance, and we ran around looking for the notorious monsters for Sky God Pops, and that was my introduction to Sky, and it was pretty cool. Okay, yep, it's a Treant. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Green Man, huh? Okay. Gonna chop you down with the sword. And a great sword, no less. Bam! The TP changes have done wonders for lower TP valued Ground Strike. It's also done wonders for higher TP valued Ground Strike, but it's definitely performing better at low TP than it ever used to. Great damage and great skill chain properties. What's not to love? I guess sometimes the animation cheeses out and happens without the character moving. But that's bad. That happens with everything, so. Okay, yay, we got the anal truth. And we'll just warp back home and then teleport into the metalworks again. This time I'll go to the right. Home point. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Like, that whole transition to endgame was really interesting for me because basically I'd gotten grounded in late 2005, and I came back, and within a couple of days, I guess in like November, yeah, I guess it was November, December, my friend Hecken found me online and was like, "Oh, hey man, did you want to join endgame?" And I was just like asking him like, "What happened to the link shell?" Because the link shell I had been in was a social link shell, and basically everyone had quit from it and made their own link shell. Like, there was a schism. Everyone who wanted to be in an in-game shell went with Jimpu, and everybody else did a different link shell or like straight up quit the game. See, you've brought back the anal truth. 10 years ago, before I became a mythical musketeer, I too defeated the beast and brought back that same item as proof of my deed, just as my master had ordered me. Master, I do not feel that this axe is suited for me. I wish to continue my training in the way of the great sword. Now, hey look, it's wherein again. Pagdako. Rushing into decisions can only hamper your potential. That axe has shown you your limits and has led you to reevaluate the paths you have chosen. Whether or not you attempt to break those limits is up to you. Only you can decide which road in your life you will tread. This is all I can teach you. Master, believe in yourself and your abilities, Pagdako. A new force is growing inside you as we speak. I sense that you too had begun to realize your limits. However, by fighting with that foe, a new force has begun to grow inside of you. These annals of truth are just a symbol of that force. Step forth and wield your axe with confidence, knowing that the path you have chosen is not ended. There is still much to learn. You'll learn the weapon skill Steel Cyclone. And I'm definitely going to be showing that off at some point. It's one of my favorite weapon skills in the entire game. It functions just like Ground Strike or Spiral Hell. Basically, the higher your TP, the more damage it does. It's a single hit. And it has distortion property, so it can make darkness and distortion and several other weapon skills. The sub-property schism, so. Now let's go to Juno real quick to pick up the next WSNM, which I believe will be Axe. We get it from Brutus, I'm pretty sure. My Great Axe weapon skill list finally looks correct to me. Even though I'm still missing some weapon skills. We have mythic weapon skills to get still. There's Empyrean weapon skills to get. There's the level 80 weapon skills, which come at skill level 290 or 300. And then there's the merited weapon skills as well. Okay, Brutus, you gonna talk about the Trust Initiative or some other shit I don't care about right now? Okay. Chocobo thing. Makes sense. Wow, where did you get all those calluses on your hands? From practicing with your axe? That's pretty impressive, but I still don't think you could match my boss over there. He rounded up our chocobos and built this whole stable, all with a single axe. Why, he could take out the deadliest monsters with a single swipe. How can you see the calluses on my hands through my gauntlets? Test 2 new models, huh? Okay, so we're gonna help him out with testing an axe for the Tenshodo, huh? So she's as blunt as a chocobo girl, huh? Okay, well, they call it an axe, but it's actually a pick of trials. So it's a heavier one-handed axe. It actually has a pretty decent damage rating for level 71. So that's cool and all. But now, we're obviously not gonna like be breaking that on camera. But we're gonna do Bard artifact armor. So we just gotta go to Lower Juno. Stop off at this goblin and do our daily tally thing, since we have so much daily points for me taking a break for a year. Special dial, please. Give me a Kraken Club or something good. Do it. Do it for the vine. Cursed gloves. I don't think I need that at all. Cursed gloves. Oh, they're Hecatome gloves, but I don't have Hecatome Hands Aberration, because I can only get it from Sky Gods. I think they come from Seiryu, but I could be remembering wrong. I actually intend on fighting the Sky Gods after I get fully merited, because I think I'll be able to take them on Red Mage with trusts. At least, I know at least Genbu I'll be able to beat, but I'm not sure about the others. The others do so much damage that, like, it's going to be tricky to beat them. No, we need to switch to Bard if I'm going to start these Bard artifact quests. Which I've never done the Bard artifact quest, so this will be interesting. It's kind of interesting to me which jobs have become more commonplace now that people largely have to play solo. Like, on the more populous servers, you know, people still play with other people a lot, but and this server's populous enough that I could be finding other people to play with, I'm sure. But whenever you do that, you have to give in to what other people want you to play and do. And of course, you have to be maximum level, and you have to bring something to the table that they want or need. So it's not always a fun or good time. And I definitely like anything other than social stuff is not gonna go well for me with this the way I'm doing this Let's Play, so I'm just not even caring about it currently. Although I do care a little bit, because there's just some things I can't do if I can't use trusts, like at the level I'm at. And even if I went to 99, there's some stuff I just wouldn't be able to do without having real player help. So, not a whole lot, mind you, just enough for it to be annoying. Okay, where's my stuff that I use on Bard? Did I learn the Golden Capricia? What level is that? 54. Horn, Oliphant, Traversier. I guess Traversier will do it. Doesn't really matter. I don't need everything. I just need enough stuff to actually play the job, you know. I need the bare minimum. Okay, I think that'll do. Okay, so we gotta talk to Merter and Lower Juno. Says he's at H8. I assume it's that same eatery or whatever, bar or whatever that we did before for unlocking Bard. And Bard can actually use Evisceration, but not till 75, I'm pretty sure. So, unless I level Bard up some more, we're stuck with like Viper Bite or whatever, which isn't terrible. It's just, you know, the lower level you are, the less power you have. It should be pretty readily apparent by now. Chair. Oh yes, that idiot. Okay, I'll throw it away. The Waters of Oblivion at Rangumont Pass, huh? Okay, so he gives us the key item. It's a bracelet from his girlfriend. Well, lost love. That's a really poetic way to put it, but it's definitely just a girl who didn't want to be with him anymore. Pardon me. Drinking some OJ. Trying to shake off the last of this flu I had. It really wasn't that bad of a sickness after the first four days. Like, I was really bad sick the first 2 or 3 days. Like, I was like sweating up a storm every single night that I went to bed. I'd like soak through my clothes and my sheets and my pillows. And there was no point in washing them and drying them because literally anytime I'd lay down, which was most of the day, I'd start sweating and sweat through them again. So I was just miserable and wet and drenched with my own sweat for like 3 days straight. And then the 4th day, I still had pretty bad cough, and my nose started to run. But my fever finally broke, and I stopped. Not completely stopped sweating, but I sweat so much less that I could actually dry my bedding and not feel disgusting laying down. Let's see, it would be in Ronfa, right? No? For Gandhi then? Yes, okay. Swing. Okay, Waters of Oblivion at E5. I wonder if that's past the level 90 add-in monsters or not. It's definitely way up there. I think it's actually past the tie size and stuff. I don't think we need a lot of trust for this because it's level 40 artifact, but I'm going to whip them out anyway because why not? Good habit to get into. We might actually, if we do wind up aggroing one of the like level 90 eyes, we might actually be able to take them in a long protracted battle. Or we might just die miserably, but I'd rather try than resign myself to death. The only time I really resign myself to death in this game is if I know I'm so much further below a monster in level that, like, I have no chance. I'm also going to try to solo Fenrir once I get fully merited as well. Because the ability to have 15... Okay, so back at the original 75 cap when they first came out with merits, because merits actually haven't always been in the game, they... Okay, welcome back. I guess I reached the memory size capture limit. I have too many recordings in my backlog, and so my game bar wouldn't record any longer than before that interruption, which I guess I'll just add these together in Premiere later, but hopefully it doesn't happen again. I don't want to do that. Although we were watching my Let's Play, I actually was like praising myself in my brain because I noticed that it happened several times with disconnects. and I had to stitch together videos in Premiere, which really isn't that hard to do. It just changes the way the game looks slightly. Oh, level 90 bats and shit. Okay. If I were gonna try to fight one of these things, I'd use double madrigal and pray. But I don't have to fight them. I just have to get to this lake up here. Yep, it's all level 90 stuff. Okay, cool. Pretty sure the Waters of Oblivion, though, are kind of up in that corner. And, because that's E5, and I'm pretty sure there aren't any level 90 monsters next to that pool, because I'm pretty sure that's where we had to go for our Ranger artifact quests a long time ago. Yeah, these evil weapons, which are like still in the 40s. Cool beans. Waters of Oblivion. Excellent. Oh, it's a Kraken. Tros, huh? Okay. I'm sure it'll die quickly. Probably die before I can get my songs off. I like the way the Traversier looks. It's like an actual flute. Wait. I changed my mind. Please let me throw it in myself. Oh, okay, so you want to throw it in now that I've taken care of the Kraken that lived in that pond. No, 100 years from now, if the bracelet is ever found, what will cross their minds? Could it be true that the memories of past owners reside within such things? And when I think about how we may yet find such a thing, recovering memories buried under the flow of time, it seems sad. Thank you for helping me. Everything seems much clearer now. Here, take this. Obtained paper knife. Whoa, it's a knife with 2 charisma. Whoa. It's actually pretty good for its level. But again, it's another thing where we're way too far beyond such things. And I forgot to use my eChad ring before I started recording earlier. It's a good idea if you know you're going to EXP later to just go ahead and use that if you're going to do anything else beforehand. Because it's got a 2-hour cooldown on it. And, I don't know, it's okay. Speak to Baki Tabuja, who's also in Lower Juneau. Apparently we're going to need a flask of holy water, so hopefully we can buy that off the auction house or from somewhere else. We might be able to get it from the Curio Moogle, but might also be one of those things where I don't have access to it from the Curio Moogle because I don't have all the Rhapsody items that give you all of the huge access from the Curio Moogle. But the auction house is on the way, so we can check. And if we can't get some holy water, then we'll go check the Curio Moogle. And if we can't get any there, then we'll go check where to possibly buy it from NPCs, but it looks like we got it from the auction house, no problem. We actually only need one vial of it, or one flask of it, but, you know, they were only selling stacks, so. To Almobenka. Nikita Buja. Looking for a bard, you see. I thought you'd be a perfect match for this task. What do you say? You bet. It's such an onerous task that nobody wants to do it. I'm so lucky you're here. Bring me a flask of holy water. Can't do much without one. Okay. Visit the grave of a great bard of yesteryear and pray for him. Tragic end, huh? Go ask other bards if you want to learn about him. His stone sarcophagus is deep inside the Eldium necropolis. It's one of several, and I can't remember which. Well, you'll find it. A little investigation will reveal which one is his. Purify it with that flask of holy water and play the Requiem. You don't know the tune? It's okay, just go. Okay. Optional. Speak to Malatigiat at the mead house for more information on this great bard of yesteryear. Okay, so this guy who's right next to us. He was executed in San Dioria for committing a serious crime. Okay. So now we gotta go to Eldium Necropolis. At F5 in Battaglia Downs. You will have to travel through Bucidine Glacier to reach the barrow containing the proper entrance to the Eldium Necropolis. You can also use the Lycopodium NPC in the past version of Battaglia Downs, who can warp you to F5 in the present. Okay, so I guess we just take the book warp to Bucidine and then run on down. Seems pretty straightforward. Gotta remember to not let this recording go over an hour, because I already got that like 25-minute recording that got cut off by, I guess, my computer running out of space for videos. Or possibly just my recording software glitching out. I'm not sure which it was. I just know that I looked for the problem. It said you might need to do an update. I checked for an update. There were no update. So then I was just like, maybe it's a memory issue. So I started deleting a lot of my old Fire Emblem Let's Play videos that I still had. And then seeing if I could record again. And it let me record again. So here we are. I wonder if we can get Swift Shoes and then stack Mazurka on top of it. I kind of doubt it, but like it'd be kind of cool. We'd move faster. Although I guess we could just mount up too. Bastok owns the glacier. Oh yeah. Okay, so we got that. Where are you, Chocobo Mazurka? Or whichever Mazurka I have. I thought I had a Mazurka in here somewhere. Maybe I don't know Mazurka. Yeah, well. Darkness, weather, spooky. Appropriate since it's October. I don't think we need to bust out any trust, because I don't think anything's going to aggro us at level 70 in this area. I could be wrong. Maybe one of the notorious monsters will aggro me. But I'll just sleep it with Horde Lullaby or something. really need to start uploading these. I think this is like the 12th one I've recorded or something like that without uploading any of them. Like, currently, as I'm recording this, the last one I uploaded was when I fought Mott on Warrior, and I think when I went to Torai Mora Canal for the first time and got killed by Fenrir. So, like, it's like a 2-hour recording I uploaded, but, like, it was like a week and a half ago at this point. So, like, possibly even 2 weeks ago now. So I really need to just increase my upload speed. I know not many people are watching, but like, the entire point is to record the playthrough and make me feel like I've done a worthwhile job cataloging this game and cataloging it for real by someone who actually enjoys it, who isn't just playing it to say they played all the Final Fantasies and can say with authority that they know Final Fantasy XI. I kind of hate that. Like, a lot of people will play this game for a little while just to say they played it, and then they'll speak about it like they know what they're talking about with regards to, like, how it plays, how it's supposed to play, what it's really like, how good or in-depth the story goes. Like, for instance, Pro Jared, okay? Pro Jared did a video on this. He did a video on this as one of the Final Fantasies. I always had a little bit of respect for him because he had it on his shelf and his game behind him. So I said, oh, he must have played it when it was current, you know, before YouTube or whatever. And that was true. He did. But he didn't get very far in it ever. And when he decided to replay it, he wanted to get as close to the experience he had as possible. So he decided to play and record his footage from a private server called Eden that ripped the game files and imposed a strict level 75 limit to try to recreate the 6 years of the game where it was, you know, level cap was 75, all the EXP parties required other people, everything was a lot more difficult. Apparently Eden's not the only one, and apparently recently the Eden server actually went down. They gave up the endeavor because maintaining it was too costly or something. They weren't getting enough donations or something like that. But you know, the fact of the matter is it's curated by the people who rip the files and like set up the servers and whatnot for those private servers. And like, while you can have a lot of fun and completely embrace your nostalgia and play the game how it was supposed to be or how it actually was, you're actually not, because even though they ripped the game files, they had to do a little bit of guesswork with how some of the like calculations for spells and damage and things go, and they actually literally changed stuff. Like, they changed the rate at which some notorious monsters spawn. They changed how much damage certain spells are capable of doing. They implement their own balance patches. Basically, the people who made the server are controlling the game world now. And so you're not playing the actual level 75 cap. You're playing someone's interpretation of the level 75 cap, what they think it should have been like, or what they would have preferred it to be like. It's not actually Final Fantasy XI, and it's fucking stupid. But anyway, Pro Jared decided to do that to get as close to play there, to get as close to the experience he remembered as possible. But this is problematic for two reasons. One, he didn't actually devote enough time to it to see the proper amount of the storyline for even just the base game, right? Because he was getting the old experience of a hard as balls MMO game, it was taking forever to level up, and he wanted to be a thief. So he's doing all these old quests and all these old things, and it's taking forever. So I don't know exactly how long he spent playing, but it must have been at least a few weeks. he actually says at the end of the video, he's like, I played more Final Fantasy XI than I've ever played before. I've got 11 days of playtime. And that sounds like a lot, right? Because that's, 24 times 11, so what, 268 hours? Or 264 hours of Final Fantasy XI. But it's 264 hours, like with the game just being on. It's not like him actively being there 100% of the time. Although I suspect most of it is because he's a streamer, and I think he streamed part of it, which I didn't know he was doing, and so I didn't catch any of that, or either that, or he like streamed it in private to patrons of his Patreon or his other stuff. His people who give him money. I don't know exactly what his process was, but I do know that I was really hopeful at seeing his video on it, and then the longer the video went on, the more I realized he didn't actually play it a long enough time to really experience it, like to really truly experience it. He just said, okay, I've spent a lot of time playing it, so therefore I know what I'm doing. Therefore I know what I'm about. Let's see, which one am I supposed to... Am I supposed to just trade holy water? Yep, okay, we gotta fight skeletons. Dog Guardian. Yum Camille, huh? Kind of shitty, but whatever. We'll take him on. We'll get him. But yeah, like, he only knows about the thief. He doesn't know about all the jobs. He doesn't know about all the weapon skills. He doesn't even know that there's quested weapon skills. He doesn't actually know the story of the game. In other words, it's more or less like a half-assed, like I said earlier, a half-assed attempt to just say, okay, I played it, I know what the game's about, I can speak on it as an authority. And to add insult to injury, like, he talked about 11, and he gave it, like, an honest, I guess, like, his honest opinions on it, right? Like, he talked about how it is, all the cool stuff about it, why people like it, why he likes it. Gave his information about buying it and playing it when it first came out. She just sick for long, once again. But, just, like... when he got to the point where he said, I played it for 11 days, and that's the most I ever played it. It really struck me, okay? Because, like, I know I'm playing in the modern age on the actual game with trust and stuff, but look at that. Look at that. 27 days, 5 hours, 34 minutes, and 38 seconds. And part of that's AFK time, but a lot of that's just me actively playing Calm Winds time. I'm surprised we actually got EXP from this. It's just really, irritating. Just know that, just this side project I'm doing, right? Like, if I were just leveling and just going to, like, play the game to try to experience it, not doing all this special, leveling all the jobs, seeing all the lore. Like, if I wasn't doing a comprehensive experience, I'd already be level 99, right? Like, I'd already know more about the game than Pro Jared, with I guess I can't say less playtime, but, like, I would have gotten there sooner. I wouldn't have this many hours, right? But, like, just, like, you can see that from just the sheer amount of time that I need to play on this character, where everything is super convenient and takes way less time than it used to, even with that, right? Like, we've barely scratched the surface of most of the major storylines. And like, I could have done it differently. Like, we could have already finished some of the storylines. Like, we already finished Rise of Zillard, but like, we could have finished, you know, like, I don't know, Chains of Promathia and Treasures of Adargon, maybe, if I wasn't focused on all of the lore and the jobs and everything. I guess we're supposed to be singing. You play the Requiem for the soul that sleeps in this sarcophagus. Well, he's wearing full Bard AF. He's a Hume. Obtain key item Star Ring. A ring given to you by the spirit of the Bard in Eldian Necropolis. It's too tarnished to read the inscription. Okay, well, whatever. So now where do we go? Defeat the NMs, go back to Biki Tabuja and receive your coral slippers. Okay. Right. Yeah, I guess the point I'm going for is, like, in order to give an accurate summation of Final Fantasy XI and the modern day, you would probably just be better off playing it how it is right now, looking up videos of how it used to be, if you have any memories of how it used to be, talking about them, and then focusing on at least getting through all of the major storylines. And I know that's a lot to ask, but imagine if I had just done one job to level 99 and focused on the story. I'd probably already be done with every major storyline except for the newest one, which is the Voracious Resurgence, right? Like, it would be acceptable to me for someone to talk about Final Fantasy XI and, like, act like they know what they're talking about if, you know, if they, you know, could actually speak about what the story is actually about. Because Pro Jared's video, he talks about the very baseline story that you're handed right off the bat with the missions, the nation missions, about, you know, the Beastmen are returning, the Shadow Lord is returning. Like, he knows the very periphery glance of what the story is, but, like, he didn't even fight the Shadow Lord. Like, he didn't even get to a high enough level, he didn't even fight the Shadow Lord. Right? He didn't even do the culmination of the very first storyline. Like, so he doesn't actually even know what Final Fantasy XI is about. And so he goes on and he does his Final Fantasy XII video, and he calls Final Fantasy XII the most misunderstood Final Fantasy because he's got some sort of hard... He, like, based his entire video essay on the idea that people... In a summary description, you know, a surface level description of Final Fantasy XII is, oh hey, it's just Final Fantasy Star Wars. Which, you know, isn't actually true, but at the same time, you know, like, there's some comparisons you can make where, like, yeah, on a surface glance, it's not that far off. You know, but, like, he calls 12 the most misunderstood one, when it's actually 11. 11 is the most misunderstood one, because hardly anyone actually fucking plays it, and plays it to the point they need to actually have experienced even one of its storylines. And I get it, it's a huge time investment, but, like, you know, how can you say you understand something? How can you say that you know what something is and what it's like, you know, just by sticking your toe in the water? Right? It's like saying you know what the riptides are like on a you know, beach, or how deep a lagoon is by wading into the ankle-deep water and being like, well, I stood here in the ankle-deep water for 20 hours, so I know what this body of water all it has to offer. Sorry for going on a bit of a tirade there, but it really, like, I was pleased as pop to see someone who I consider a major YouTuber. You know, he's been blacklisted by the algorithm, so he's never getting back over 900,000 subscribers. But and he probably realizes that at this point. But Pro Jared, you know, he's a big name. He's big enough for his personal life to make shockwaves across the internet and have everyone talking about him for about, you know, a month, and then again whenever the drama resurfaced, right? Big name. And so I was glad to see a big name do a Final Fantasy XI video. I was glad that he gave it a real, you know, like, and talked about everything surrounding it, like play online. It was still a good video. It just wasn't an accurate representation of what Final Fantasy XI fully, truly is. Right? Like, and I know that's really hard to do for an older MMO like this, but, like, I don't know, it's like, the more I think about it, the more it feels like I can't see the good, and I just feel insulted as someone who's played the game for years. Sorry I didn't tell you about the monsters, otherwise nobody would go. Okay, so she's not going to give me the ring, but she is going to give me the coral slippers. What do they do? Agility and evasion! Okay, cool, but I have like an E rank evasion, so it's not really helpful. Okay, let's see. So what's next? Okay, Borgertz's Harmonious Hands, or the Circle of Time. Well, since I'm going to do all the Borgertz's quests, since they're all exactly the same, off-screen, let's just move on to doing the quest. Okay, it doesn't say anything about zoning or whatever, it just says we need to talk to Merter. So let's talk to Merter. Yo dog, give me my last bard quest. Ask a collector if I was you, he might just say it's worthless. Go speak to Imasuke in Port Juno. Okay. Cool beans, cool beans. Yeah, I really feel like Final Fantasy XI, in order to get any traction in the present day, from the way influence works on the internet and whatnot, you need someone with a moderately big name, like maybe Some Call Me Johnny, or someone else who doesn't have a tarnished reputation. Even though Pro Jared was in the right and his wife's a total shitbag, or his ex-wife's a total shitbag, like, you know, his reputation has been tarnished. They need someone with a moderately large audience, like several 100,000 subscribers, to actually sit down, play through every storyline, compile the footage, and talk about it honestly. And if they really want to go the extra mile, they can either, you know, look through videos like this one, or play on a private server for a little while to get that old-timey experience. Okay. Where are you supposed to be? E6 in Port Juno? So that's back towards the Moogle houses. Sag. I went the wrong way. Oh wait, that's like the exit to Quiffin Island. Damn. Alright, but like, yeah, someone needs to give it, you know, like, just more than, you know, dipping their toe in the water. More, like, they need to realize 250 hours in an MMO just isn't a lot of time, right? Like, 250 hours in Final Fantasy XIV doesn't even get you, if you watch all the cutscenes, it doesn't even get you to the end of the main story currently. What, you have something you want to praise? I mean, seriously, these days everyone says they find treasure in the auction. Nonsense, all of it. See, within antique sleep spirits of the past, search carefully or you'll awaken their slumber. If you're ready, show me your item and I'll start the appraisal. It's quite an old ring and the years have not been kind. Look, I found an inscription. No, I can't make it out. It's too much for the goldsmith skill. You'll need to bury it in the perennial snow to wash away the filth. Deep inside Zarkabard lies the snow untouched for 1,000 years. Take your ring, bury it there to clean the grime, and come back here. Okay, so now we have to go to the perennial snow at I-10 in Zarkabard. And then wait 1 Earth minute. And, okay. Cool beans storyline, cool beans. We just jet up through the Moogle house to the books, take the book warp, and go to I-10. If I had better video editing skills and actually knew what I was doing on YouTube and could garner even like 1,000 subscribers or something, I would totally make a comprehensive like video essay on 11. Like book warp. That's why I came up here. I was like confused for I lost the sight of my goal. Valdunia, yep. Valdunia. Okay. It says it's at I-10, and I think that's like somewhere in the middle of the map. I don't think it'll be that far away. You know, it's not down any of the tunnels that have the 55 cap break monsters in them. I-10. Oh, look. Okay, so I think it's just in that little nub tunnel there. Wide scan. We just got a shadow dragon. We could kill him for money. Especially if he's like right there and close by. We just whip out our trust and kill him for money real quick. I don't remember how much he drops. I just know he drops money. He's a placeholder for biased. I don't think I've actually ever managed to kill on this character. I talked about it earlier in the Let's Play. Why the fuck did you spawn all the way over there? Fucking weird. Can never resist killing the Shadow Dragon. Who knows, if I actually ever level cooking up, I might have to come kill him a lot. What the fuck? Cast faster, Bard. Damn. Okay, so a little bit of teleport money, more or less. That'll cover 18 teleports. Or actually 17, but I mean 96 is close enough to 100, I don't care. Perennial snow. Okay, so it says we gotta wait 1 Earth minute. You bury the star ring in the snow. It will take some time for it to become purified. I wonder if this used to be like a game day wait or something back in the day. That's good, OJ. But yeah, I would love to see a bigger YouTuber talk about Final Fantasy XI and actually talk about the main points of each storyline. Like, you know, for the Shadow Lord, you know, talk about how he's, you know, was once Ralgrim. And for Rise of the Zillart, talk about the Archduke and his brother and what you learned about the Zillart and the Whisper of the Soul. Same thing with Chains of Promathia, really, because Chains of Promathia is actually integrated with the Zillart again. It just has different characters and more characters, and there'd be a lot more to talk about. But I'd love to see Treasures of At Urgan talked about, and how recurring NPCs from earlier quest lines show up again, and stuff like that. Something is engraved on the ring, but you cannot read it. Okay. So, retrieve Star Ring, and now it's called Star Ring. Okay, so it's on the wiki. They have it parentheses indecipherable. Go back to Imasuke, who tells you to find someone who can translate the ring. So it's just written in a language we can't read. It's not that it's indecipherable. It's just we can't decipher it. Man, we might actually finish all of Bard AF in this. Well, it's not a single recording anymore because of the interruption, but it's actually rather short. And as I've said so many times before, you can imagine back in the day this taking a lot longer. Because, I mean, it's not that we didn't have teleports back in the day, but, you know, like, we would have had to shout for a little while to get a white mage to teleport us to teleport Vazel. And, like, for Rangomont Pass, we would have had to take the airship to Sandioria. And, you know, like, walk over there, ride Chocobo over there. All in all, this probably would take, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours instead of, like, 1 back in the day. You know, assuming you had the levels and you knew exactly where the guide was talking about, you could get a teleport relatively quickly from another player. Although I think alternatively, once you start the quest on Bard, you can just switch to another job. So if you already had White Mage leveled, you could speed it up yourself without having to shout for a teleport. Clean as a whistle. Now let's see what we can see. Say, this is written in the Elder Script of Sandioria. It's a fine ring, but I wonder what it says. I suggest you take it to someone of respectable age in Chateau d'Orgueil. Can't give it a price till you know its value, as we say in the business. Okay. You sell anything cool? Nope, just Riftborn Boulders, huh? For the last leg of... I think it's the last leg of level 99 Empyrean. Not 100% sure. I really don't know super detailed about gearing up or upgrading relics and Empyreans at level 99. I just know that it takes a while. Let's see, so he said Sandioria, right? Yeah. So here we go. Let's see. Speak to Shalvatote, or Shalvatot, Shalvato. F7. Okay, so I guess we run over here. F is before H on the alphabet. And looks like it's over in the garden. I guess that makes sense. Nacho! My papa's downstairs screaming at the news about black people again. Really wish he would get over his racism. It's a memorial garden for our late Queen Lute. Okay. Oh, you don't like foreigners either, huh? How very Japanese of you. No, decipher my ring, motherfucker. Far have you carried this, so I shall tell you the tale, but keep it secret, I beg you. Let me guess, the bard was fucking the queen? Ages ago, a bard came to Sandioria. His voice was so stirring that songbirds would pause to listen. The king was so moved that he decided to keep him here in Sandioria, if but for a day longer. The talented bard lingered, but in doing so, he stole the heart of the queen. Yep. You see, her marriage to the king was not for love, and she was many, many years his junior. But still, always should a queen remain faithful to her husband, don't you think? Well, not if there's a hot bard to fuck with a big cock, so... I mean, royalty did that all the time. They were fucking their guards, or fucking their knights, or fucking their handmaidens, and kings themselves kept concubines pretty commonly. Which, you know, is basically sex slaves, so... They forged a pair of rings and promised to each other that they would become one in the next world. But then suddenly the king found out about it and didn't appreciate being cucked. Death by poison. Neat. But never did the queen forget her lover. To properly mourn him, she secretly bade my elders craft burial ornaments. She adorned his corpse with them and conveyed the remains to LDM and at last interred him there. Unfortunately, grave robbers later came and ravaged his coffin and scattered the ornaments in every direction. Ere long, the king passed away. The queen then left the palace for a convent, where she quietly bowed till the end of her days. So it's not the current king and queen. Her ring was given to my forefather, and since then it was passed down to me. Place them together on the altar of the monastic cavern. Her Majesty is interred there, and I'm sure her spirit would be greatly pleased. Okay. It's weird how he didn't name which king and queen it was, though. It's just... I mean, it looked like King Destin. Although I guess the model they used for the queen looked more like Trion's sister. But apparently this was some king and queen. He said his forefather, so I assume he means that means grandfather. So Shalvatote's grandfather. So I guess this would have been some other king and queen. I wish he would have named them. For a second, I thought he was talking ages ago, like when the current queen was still alive, the Queen Lute he had been talking about. Because I'm pretty sure right now the state of the Sandiorian royalty is that the queen is dead. But if I remember right, I think she died in childbirth to the princess, who's Trion's little sister. But obviously there's Prince Puge, there's Prince Trion, and then Princess, I think her name is Clady. And then King Destin. Now, I think we're just have to take the book warp to Devoy. I don't think we can get into the monastic cavern on the side that we need to get into it on in another place. So we'll just have to go the long way. But we have to go to the portion of a monastic cavern that's behind the Cursed Orb Gate, which is you know, like we got to go through the whole zone, and then we got to go through stuff, and it's the wiki's mentioning the Orcish warlord, so I'm pretty sure like it's gonna take us a minute here. We need to go to Norvalen, right? Yeah, Norvalen. Devoy. I imagine being new, the teleportation would still seem inconvenient because you have to remember region names, and that would take a while to learn for a new player. There's a lot of stuff I take for granted. Like, I went on my rant earlier, but like there is a lot of stuff I just take for granted. Let's get some Swift shoes going, since we can get them going for free for resting for a few seconds. Yeah, we gotta go like west and then south and go into the cave near Bellenork Abbey, I'm pretty sure. But then that loops around to the center there, and then we gotta go across that bridge and down there and into the cave at I think J9. So I think these directions are fucking wrong, but whatever. They're usually wrong. Although, actually, I think they're listing the first entrance to Monastic Cavern that you gotta go into. We'll figure it out, though. We'll get there. Oh, hey, look, people. You Cyan, level 32 Red Mage. Kick-ass little Red Mage. I believe in you. Their title is Puddle Patron. I have no idea where you get that title. Probably some notorious monster or something. I'm just going to go ahead and dance the Spectral Jig. I don't think we'll aggro anything, but I can't really remember. Like, I know we'll be able to aggro orcs later on in Devoy and in the Monastic Cavern, but not super concerned about that just yet. I'm not even going to really be super concerned about it, like, for a little while anyway, so. far as the Final Fantasy series goes overall, seems like in the modern age, the older Zoomers, like the ones in their early mid-20s, if they've played Final Fantasy at all, they started with like Final Fantasy X, and so that's like their favorite one, and they haven't played any of the older ones from the 90s, which is fucking crazy to me. Like, it makes sense, right? You know, they would have been little kids who were born in the mid 90s or late 90s, and then they would have been toddlers or little kids when Final Fantasy X came out. So it makes perfect sense. But like, they have a completely different perspective on what Final Fantasy is. They know it's a long running series, but they've only played, like 10 and 12, maybe 13, all the 13 sequels, 14 and 15. So they think of it, as like this like series that's full of Bishonen boys and women and like magic and stuff, but like they have no real grasp on like the series overall. Like, they don't know any of the early entries. They don't know how it started. Like, and if they do, they only know it secondhand. Like, they only know the earlier entries from videos on YouTube. People like, some call me Johnny, who actually played through those or grew up with those, like me. It's like millennials or late Gen Xers or whatever. And I don't know, it's an interesting divide. Like, because I love Final Fantasy, but when I say I love Final Fantasy, like, I'm specifically saying I love like all of the Final Fantasies from 1 to, I mean, I've actually never played all the way through 10. It's not that I hated it or anything, it's just like it never really grabbed my interest. Because like at that time, I was like 11 or 12, and 11 was coming out. More interested in it than I was in 10. So that's where all my money went. I mean, my brother, he owned 10, and I played 10 before, but like, and I know its story. I've read its story. I know pretty much everything about it. It's just, like, it's sort of too new for me. I mean, not really, but it's like the divide and knowing what Final Fantasy is splits the other way for me. And then like, I haven't played through 12 either. Like, I basically missed out on 10 and 12 because of playing 11 so much. I played through 13. I've actually played through 13 completely. I haven't done 100% like playthrough of it or anything, but I played through, like myself, I played through all the way to where you get down to Pulse, which is actually Earth. And then I played a friend's file that was at the end of the game to see the final boss and how the ending goes. But I haven't played any of the 13 sequels. I actually really like the battle system in 13, but because it's basically a single player tighter version of MMO style play. You have like the Sentinel class and the Debuffer class. I can't remember what it's actually called. That casts like Ruin and other stuff like slow, enfeeblement magic, more or less. And then I've played a ton of 14, obviously. I still need to finish that Let's Play up to the current portion of the story. It's just there's not a whole lot of value that happens. Like, I mean, there's still plenty for me to show. There's like, I don't know, 12 to 15 recordings remaining in what the current story is, and it's only going to grow within the coming months. But it just doesn't feel important to me. It's not like what I actually want to do right now. I've shown all the main stories, so like, I mean, all the main story like for the Endwalker expansion, so I don't really like super duper care. But yeah, And then I played through 15, and I beat 15, and it was fun enough when I did it that, like, I had a good time, but at the same time, I didn't really like a lot of things about it. Like, I didn't really care for 15's magic system, where magic is more or less, like, crafted. And I also didn't really care for Prompto or the 4-guy party. Like, I didn't really like Gladio. I liked Ignis, and Noctis was okay, I guess. I mean, they were all okay. Like, I don't just, like, have a frothing hate motor for any of them. But, you know, they're not exactly, none of them place in, like, oh, that's my new favorite Final Fantasy character. Like, the character I actually wound up liking the most was Aranea, who was like an enemy dragoon. And that was because whenever she was in the party or whenever she was fighting you, the battles made like full, really cool use of the whole warp system and stuff. So it was really fucking cool to me. But there weren't enough battles like that. There just weren't enough things for me to enjoy. Let's see, it said beware of the Orcish warlord. But where do we gotta, like... Okay, so walk into the small circular room at I-8 with the altar in it. Be careful, it's a true sight. Warlord who roams the area. I don't see where we're supposed to do stuff. I'm just gonna kill these guys though. Really? Oh snap, we're getting instrument and singing skills. Oh, my pop is sneezing. You might hear it, you might not. I said that a lot earlier in the Let's Play. I noticed on my rewatching, like, oh, you might hear my dog, or oh, you might hear this annoying sound that I can hear. But my mic is actually, like, on my headset, it's actually really good at not picking up sound. Like, sometimes, like, that's why I have a hard time with the audio mixture. Like, I'm not doing, like, anything super, like, involved with mixing audio, but just, like, getting the game volume correct for the audio my mic can actually pick up when it's right next to my mouth is actually surprisingly difficult, or was surprisingly difficult. Orcish warlord uses blood weapon. Meow, 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 meow. So is this the right room? Maybe the directions weren't wrong. Let's see. Hold on a second. I-8. Okay. So I assumed that the wiki was wrong and the wiki was actually right. I'm dumb. Testimonies, we don't need any more for any reason whatsoever. So I'll just be getting rid of those. I'll hang on to the cursed gloves just in case I'm able to beat the Sky God that drops the Hecatomb Hands Abjuration, because those, they're not better than the Alcyonesis bracelets, depending on which weapon skill you're using, but they actually have like +7 strength and +4 dexterity or something. So because of the positive dexterity addition, comparing them to Alcyonesis' bracelet for anything that's a multi-hit weapon skill, they actually have like a 10 dexterity lead on Alcyonius' bracelets. So you trade four strength for 10 dexterity, and that's the whole thing. So, okay, can I get through here without aggroing these orcs? Cool, 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 cool. Also a little bit lucky. But if I had just followed the wiki, hey, my laptop likes to go into auto rest mode or whatever really quickly, so I have to touch it a lot. Yeah, what was I talking about? I've lost my train of thought. I know I was saying I was wrong and the wiki was right. It's kind of funny is what made me realize it was the wiki was right and I was wrong was when we killed the Orcish warlord and it dropped the Dark Knight testimony. I was like, wait a minute, Dark Knight? Oh, there's another one of these things that's in the other section of Monastic Cavern. Turns out I didn't need to go through the cursed orb door. And that's why the wiki doesn't mention it at all. And that's why the wiki mentioned this entrance. And oh, the wiki was actually right for once. And right in a very, just straightforward way. But see, that's the thing of it is that all the wikis for this game, or the two biggest ones, like they're so often vague and halfway wrong. You know, you just get used to it. I really need to wrap this up because that other video I'm gonna have to stitch the front of it. It's like 25 minutes, so we're already at like an hour and a half after the stitching. But we'll be done soon enough. We just gotta touch this altar. Oh, just gotta touch this altar and fight this ghost. Okay. Well, that's annoying. Let's see. Magic finale to get rid of those ice spikes. Oh, but I'm paralyzed again. Here, let's turn around. Oh, let's turn around. Yeah, stupid ice spikes. And this is another situation where we don't actually have to be on Bard for this part of the quest, I don't think. We just would have to have started this part of the quest. But, I like to be on the job that I'm working on, the AF quest for. Especially since I have everything leveled to 70 plus already. Why am I unable to cast spells at this time? Cast the fucking spell and get rid of its ice spikes that it reapplied far sooner than it should have been able to. Get this Blade Magic all going, just so we have the accuracy. That's what our Traverse the Air enhances anyway. The way people used to play Bard back in the day, I probably mentioned this before, like so many other things that I mentioned in passing. But, yeah, the way people used to play it was literally there's so many instruments that are specifically for enhancing a certain song that like you just bring all the instruments that enhance each song and you macro them in as you're singing the songs that you're singing. I guess we could auction house or NPC the Scroll of Stun. Not too bad to get. But I don't like playing Bard that way. I don't like having to macro the instrument out. And the thing is it doesn't even disappear at the highest level of Bard. Like nowadays, the highest level of Bard, you need to make the Relic Galar Horn, which enhances all songs by a great degree. But then you also need to get a Dardabla, which is a Empyrean Harp, which allows you to have 4 songs up at once. And so you play like the 2 songs you need the most with the Gallarhorn, and then you macro in the Dardabla and you play the other 2 songs so that you can have 4 songs. Of course, if I were to do it, I would just make the Dardabla and play 4 songs all the time and not care about the Gallarhorn's bonus, which is probably the stupid way to do it, but I don't know. Aw, there's the stars and the moon. Welcome, moon and star, to this place where dreams are made. Okay, so now we gotta go back to Shalato and tell him, I guess, that the spirit of the queen is happy. And then that'll be it for Bard Artifact Armor. Hoo-yah, we got it done in 1 recording, even if I had to stitch it together. Thanks, recording software, you piece of shit. Also, I guess technically what I said about the Gallarhorn and the Dardabla, that's just my inference from what I know about past Bard. I don't actually know if that's 100% the case. I know there's also a harp, I think it's called the Blurred Harp, where the +1 version of it lets you have 3 songs, but you need 100 job points on Bard to be able to use it. It's more or less a discount Dardabla. And you might as well just make the Dardabla if you're gonna seriously be a Bard main. Guess I could look up the Dardabla and see what it's like at level 99. It might just be straight up better than the Gallarhorn, although I doubt it. They try to balance the relics and the stuff. Okay. Yeah, singing skill, string instrument skill +20, increases song effect duration, grants 2 additional song effects, Afterglow. So, let's just look at the level 99 version with the Afterglow. The Afterglow doesn't do anything except make your character glow. Okay, that kind of sucks. That makes the Afterglow for it pointless. Other than to say, hey, I love this thing so much that dicks. Okay, let's look up the Gallarhorn now, because the enhanced song duration actually is interesting, because even if it doesn't give the bonuses that the Gallarhorn gives, the Gallarhorn doesn't also increase the duration, and then that makes the Dardabla just better for any fight that's going to be long, with the Gallarhorn useful for Zerg fights. See. Gallarhorn level 99. Charisma +10, singing skill, and wind instrument skill +25. All songs +4. So yeah, it's exactly what I said. You play the Gallarhorn for 2 songs, and then you use the Dardabla to give yourself 2 more songs. One of the barrel ornaments was entrusted in my care, but I'd rather you have it. It may pale in comparison to the ring, but 'tis all this gardener has to give. So, Bard Quest, I guess, actually explains why the artifact armor is spread out everywhere. It's because of the grave robbers. Oh, their spirits are back here in the garden. Now smooch. Smooch, damn it. Okay, cool. So we got the Coral Juice Decor, which is the body piece. String instrument skill +3. Kind of looks like a hobo outfit, honestly. Being all brown and shit. Anyway, that's all the Bard artifact quest armor, so thanks. Next time we'll open up with getting the axe weapon skill notorious monster. I just have to go break the axe and get a whole bunch more merits. And I'll see you next time. So stay safe. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.